Well, we got the dub. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Duga. And tonight I'm going to talk about tonight's big Jimmy Butler return to Miami as the Miami Heat beat the Golden State Warriors 112 to 86. Before I get into this video, man, for anyone, if you want to drop a dollar on the Cash App information is down in the description box. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, that information is down in the description box. If you're a subscriber to the channel, greatly appreciate the love and support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification button, like the video, and share it with your folks. Well, he get the dub, man. Jimmy got the tribute video to start the night, man. Real touching video, man. Jimmy got a mixture of cheers and boos. He did acknowledge the crowd, wave to the crowd and everything. He was getting booed when he touched the ball and stuff like that. Didn't have Steph Curry out there, and Jimmy, didn't have a great night for all indications. It was very lethargic performance by him. And after the game, Jimmy also said earlier in the night, I ain't got nothing to say to Pat. Pat better not have nothing to say to me. There's a big beef going on with these two. This is the next biggest beef after Drake and Kendrick Lamar, man. Pat Riley versus Jimmy Butler. And then after the game, Jimmy just went straight to the locker room. Jimmy ain't want to hug nobody. Jimmy ain't want to ask nobody how their children doing. Jimmy got up, went straight to the locker room, man. But all in all, he get the win tonight, man. 112 to 86. You know, um, Solid performance, real solid performance. They didn't have Steph, but nevertheless, I thought the defense was really good tonight. A guy that was forgotten about in this whole scenario was Andrew Wiggins, the guy who got traded basically, for Jimmy Butler. And Wiggins was really solid defensively, man. I think he blocked like three threes, on the perimeter. Bam had a really good game. Hero got going late. Alec Burke hit some threes, started for Duncan Robinson. And Khalil Ware, man, a guy that I do like, a guy that I do have am hopeful for, going forward in the future in this whole rebuild thing. He had some plays, had some impact plays. And Davian Mitchell, man, another guy that I like. He screams Miami Heat all over him the way he plays. Liked him a lot in college. He had a solid impact on this game as well, and we get a good win, man. All in all, as far as for the Heat, starting to play a little better basketball after this, historical, dreadful 10-game losing streak. Obviously it's not much expected this year. 10 seed right now. Like now, if this playoff started today, we got to play at Chicago and then play the loser of I think it's Orlando or Atlanta. Just to try to get just to try to get an 8 seed. You know what I'm saying? But and have to play Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, man, for me, it's about the future of the team. It's about the young pieces who are going to be here getting better. People like Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, Andrew Wiggins. I'm assuming. You just want to see those guys continue to get better and play with and play together and get more of a continuity with each other. And got two first round picks. And see if we could add some talent, in the off season. But for me, man, finally putting a bow on this Jimmy, Butler situation, man, because after this, it's probably the last. It's probably gonna be the last time it's even a thing. With him returning to Miami and everything, he's moved on. We've moved on. Look, man, I know a lot of people are very upset with Jimmy Butler with the way things ended, him basically quitting on the team and everything. And look, I don't co-sign for anybody quitting on their team or anything like that. And Jimmy is not exactly a turn the cheek type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I know we all want athletes and people to always want to turn the other cheek, and Jimmy's just not that guy. He has an edge, which is part of the thing that makes him great. But look, like I've said, man, I appreciate everything Jimmy Butler did for this organization. I have no ill will towards Jimmy Butler, man. I thought he carried. I thought he took teams, then overachieved with them. I thought he took maybe, with the exception of the team that lost to Boston in Game 7, that was the number one seed. he took teams that quite honestly should have been bounced in the first round and took them to NBA Finals, man. Jimmy has been outstanding in the Miami Heat uniform. We had some really the bubble was a lot of fun, and especially 2 years ago when it was at its peak. Though we lost to the Denver Nuggets, just going on a magic carpet ride like that, and then all going right into off season where it seems like Dame Lillard was coming to Miami, and also prayers to Dame Lillard as well, with the news with his blood clots and everything. Um, and it went downhill from there, man. I blame Pat Riley more than I blame Jimmy Butler, man. Love Pat, obviously he's Miami Heat culture, but if we just be honest with ourselves, who has he brought to this organization as of late? What stars has he brought? He's drafted some decent I mean, Bam was a great pick. Hero was a great pick. I think Khalil Ware is going to be a really good pick. But besides that, like, what star or impact players have he really brought in here as of late? And you ask guys like Jimmy Butler and Eric Spoelstra with his coaching to carry mediocre teams to heights that it quite honestly had no business being at. And Pat, instead of looking at that and being like, you know what, I need to add to this to get over that hump, you just ran it back, man. So I put more blame on Pat more than anything. And then when Jimmy said what he said last year, Pat didn't have to. Pat feels some type of way. Jimmy don't play every night. But if we being honest, besides the young guys like the Shea Gildas Alexanders and all them, what older, what I'm saying, NBA stars that's 30 plus really play every night like that anyway, if we being honest with ourselves. So look, man, Jimmy could have handled it better at the end, but at the same time, I put more of the blame at the feet of Pat Riley for the reason this thing ended the way it did. But with that being said, I am a Miami Heat fan. I am not a Jimmy Butler fan, never, to say the less. I loved him when he was with us. He's no longer with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm rooting for the Golden State Warriors to do anything or anything. I could care less. But I just wanted to address how everything went down and that I appreciate everything that Jimmy did for this organization, man. And Pat either got to get his you know what together or step aside, let somebody younger that's more relatable to today's society, step in place and get this thing back to where it needs to be. Because right now it's an embarrassment where it's at, man. This team is going to finish, in the play-in because they 5 games up on Toronto. And they're going to most likely not make the playoffs. They're gonna most likely lose in the play-in to either Chicago, Atlanta, or Orlando. You know what I'm saying? And or if they do get in, they might get gentlemen swept, if not swept, in the first round, man. Because you missing talent. You this team is really talent deprived, man. And that's something that Pat gonna have to get better at his 80-year-old age, or you gonna have to step aside and let somebody else do it, man. But nevertheless, good win tonight. Positive going forward. I'm more focused about next season, than this year. I just want to see the team play better at the end, but I'm not expecting no magic carpet ride like we did 2 years ago. Jimmy ain't that. You know what I'm saying? But good win tonight, man, and good to see the young building block pieces play well tonight, man. And for Jimmy, good. Thank you for everything you did. Good luck on your future endeavors in Golden State. And Pat, get it together. Oh, step aside. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I have Miami Heat, NBA, and content on my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Let's go Heat.